Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us again to continue with the review of this shit show. This isn't the stream, although technically on some occasions it is. We're talking about Lorne's book. So we're on to chapter 6. I was dropped a bombshell literally 3 fucking minutes before this stream started about the content of chapter 6. Would somebody like to explain what we collectively we've done slightly incorrect?
No.
Is this? Okay.
I think we agreed that Shin was going to explain.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if he was going to be the predetermined person that was going to do this.
Of course.
All right, guys, I'm just going to be direct about this. There is no sex in this chapter. I think there's a rumor going around, but again, look at the bright side here. It shows that we're reading this with you guys. We're not reading ahead. Well, maybe we read ahead to find out there was no sex in it, but just briefly, we found out where it is. It's in chapter 7, which is the next one. And for all of you here, I totally understand. Just unsubscribe right now. Do whatever you're going to do. But
yeah, that's it. Just decimate my channel, guys. Unsubscribe. Send me hate mail. It's fine.
Yes. But in any event, I can't even promise you that chapter 6 is good. But we're going to do our best. So, thank you.
I appreciate that groveling little speech there, Shin. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
Humana. Okay.
I must admit, it's quite funny because even though we've got off to a sort of, and obviously this could change at any minute, even though we've got off to a technically problematic free stream, there's been, as soon as we start, it was 3 minutes before the stream started, and I said, "Oh, we're 5 minutes and we're going to be on time and there's no problems." And then Tiffany Lockhart said, "Well, actually, there is a big problem. 5 minutes before the fucking stream started, there's no sex scene," which is what I advertised when I scheduled it 3 days ago.
Well, but at least it was realized beforehand. I mean, if we were reading the chapter, if nobody realized and we just were plowing through the chapter waiting to get to the good part and it never came, then that would be even more disappointing.
It's evidence of authenticity.
It's building up people's anticipation. So for anybody that hasn't read the book, please wait until we read it together. So I've not read it. I'm going through this with you, if you've not read it before, chapter by chapter, and it's kind of a reveal, which is kind of fun. Well, it's kind of fun, but not fun, because, you know, you're reading just an appalling piece of, I don't even know what to call it. In fact, have we even come up with what this thing actually is, right? It isn't a novel. It can't be classed as a novel. It's not a short... Is it a short story? What the fuck is it?
I don't know what constitutes a short story, personally. But I believe it's put out there as a novel.
It's art. That's what it is.
It's a what? A fart?
Art. Pure poetry.
Art.
Yeah, it's a fart art. Exactly.
Yes, I agree with that.
Correct.
Yeah, but, you know, the other thing is just, you know, for full disclosure, I read this book before through, I think, Tiffany, you said you did too. You actually have it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Through Nick Bagler's old, Amanda, you may have done that.
Yeah, I listened. Yeah, I listened to it.
But I don't really remember it. I mean, I remember the story, the general story, which basically is in the synopsis. But I don't remember the details like we're reading right now. Of course not. How could you?
Yeah, it'd probably be quite worrying if you did, really, wouldn't it? I mean, it's like... But saying that, though, I mean... I'm trying to differentiate between that and the chat log, between this and the chat log, but the chat log is a spectacle within itself, where this is portrayed to be a novel, so you're reading it to try and get some kind of literary enjoyment out of it, of which you're going to get none, are you? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, you know, it rubbed off on me a little bit. I do...
Well,
I'm very proud of people for being born, a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point to bring up, actually, because there is, but that moment alone was worth it. Going through this whole thing. Do you know what? I think that might be the fucking most cheesy, ridiculous thing that any human being has ever written in the history of mankind.
Between
In
mother and
any
son.
form of media ever. Like, literally, like, it's like a real version of The Office, you know, like where Brent just comes out with the most ridiculous shit. Like, I think there's been a rape up there. Like, it's kind of like the real life version
dirty.
of that.
Women are dirty.
It's like when he's writing his songs and stuff, and you're just going, no one would write that, no one would do that. But this guy wrote, "Thank you for being." Oh Jesus, he should be prosecuted for writing that. Just for that word, just for that little fucking part of the book.
I think the funniest part is that he thinks that is going to be so emotionally touching for his audience.
Exactly, you can tell.
Yeah, he thought that was a home run.
There's a message. There's like a spiritual kind of. I can't explain it, but as you read that, you can just sense what he was thinking when he wrote it. Like it was some kind of, like he was going to win a fucking the Pulitzer Prize or something. For, well, you know, not the Pulitzer Prize, but you get what I mean. Some kind of fucking prize for writing that, like some kind of literary genius. Thanks for being born.
Yeah, I mean, you ask what this was. You know, I'm starting to think that it's not just a novel that he made up in his head, and he's putting the best attributes he thinks a man should have for his protagonist. But I'm seriously thinking that it's actually him, and he's trying to describe to the world who he really is.
No, but do you think
really
that's conscious or subconscious, though?
Subconscious, but he's putting himself in different situations. But he's saying, people don't understand me. This is who I really am. And it's really stupid. It's just as stupid. It's worse, actually.
I think it was quite insightful what Tiffany said last week for a change, that when Lorne is writing, he wrote in the last book about Aaron and how really Aaron isn't responsible for the things he's about to do.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it was worded, but it was hinted at that he's going to go fucking crazy, and it's because of the things that have happened to him. And that is, but what's interesting is it's kind of like you've got to. The time of when this was written in Lorne's life is quite important because he's in prison. So he's trying to articulate in his mind why he's there, and he's obviously in full blame mode. I don't know whether... Will he have written his lawsuit at this point, do we think, when he's wrote the book?
I don't know. I don't know what the timeline is. I mean, he could have had those going as well. I'm not sure if he spent time with Pete. What was his name? Mike Peterson.
The cop guy.
Yeah, because they wrote them at the same time. So I can't remember if he was still in jail at that point when he wrote his lawsuit, or if he was in prison. Because I think he was only with that Mike guy when he was in jail, because he helped Mike write his, and Mike's was submitted one day prior to Lorne's, and they used the judge's decision in Mike's case against Lorne as well.
Awesome.
Wasn't he late on the deadline too?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think there was, Lorne definitely submitted things where he wasn't supposed to. So he would submit some type of a motion or a letter to the original court, and then they'd have to respond saying, this isn't the correct place to send this. So, yeah.
Or motion.
It's hard to differentiate because he doesn't say this happened when I was in jail or this happened when I was in prison. He just says this happened when I was incarcerated.
Right.
So
we kind of have some evidence of when this thing was written, or at least started to be. I know he started it in prison, and he didn't finish it until he got out. So, but his prison letters indicate that he was writing this book, and I don't know what the date was, but I think it was around 2010, 2011, and then he finished it when he got out after 2012. So his lawsuits were going on, Andrew, since I don't remember. I think it was 2011.
Yeah, because they were lengthy documents as well. They would have taken some time to do. I'm just kind of... I don't suppose it really matters because Lorne's always had this, it's not me, it's what happened to me mentality. I just think it's kind of interesting that the whole fucking theme of the book is that, if you think about it. There's not a plot. We already know. We're not saying any spoilers by saying what's going to happen because, ironically, Lorne said in the overview the fucking start, middle, and end of the book. He already told you exactly. That's what's so funny about this. Not only is it a terribly written book on every level, the whole fucking everything was spoiled and told to you at the beginning, so there's no point reading it. You know what I mean? So, but it's so interesting that the central theme of the book, if there is one, is a guy who went through all these terrible things and ended up going on a killing spree, but it's not really his fault. It's a tragedy for him. And somehow Lorne compares that situation with himself. So he somehow thinks that being deprived of meatballs and mac and cheese is akin to seeing a child explode, which is quite hilarious, but also disturbing.
You know, I'm going to say her name, Erido wrote, I believe he wrote this to demonstrate how someone can be guilty of a crime while simultaneously not wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Very well put. Very well put.
And, you know, there's no violent indications that he's giving out at this point. If you already know the end where he's going to turn into a serial killer or whatever, you're able to scrutinize the time up to that point. You know, and you're able to look for clues that this guy is going to be some kind of a homicidal maniac. He's not really doing that. He's not really demonstrating any kind of violent fantasies, or I would imagine, you know, it's just woe is me, pity me, let me sleep on the couch. You know, that's all it is.
You can't expect foreshadowing from Lorne. Just spoiler alert, it's very abrupt when Aaron changes.
Strangely enough, Amanda James, I don't think anybody's surprised by what you've just said there. That somehow there wasn't some kind of like... Some people think Anakin turned to the dark side too quickly in Revenge of the Sith, but at least there was two movies before it. Shut up, you. At least there was two movies before it explaining, you know, why he made those decisions and some... But this, I've got a feeling that this guy one day is going to be... Well, anyway, you get where I'm going.
All right, I get your point.
Yeah, anyway, without further ado, while I've bored Shin stupid with some Star Wars spiel,
me too.
Shall we? Yeah, shall we? You're not on your own, dude.
I like
Amanda.
it.
You like Star Wars, don't you, Amanda?
Yes,
James?
Amanda's one of you. Yes,
I do.
Yes.
So this it's 2-on-2. I'm glad that I've got an ally, a member of the Rebel Alliance is with me. But anyway, that does sound really geeky, doesn't it? But we'll carry on with. We'll carry on with the book. Right, so brilliant narrator, who will just do it permanently from now on because she does it much better than we can. Could you start the chapter, please, Tiffany Lockhart?
Sure. Chapter 6. Aaron looked at the digital clock on his nightstand in his bedroom.
Again.
What is it with this motherfucker?
This must be, I think this is the second chapter that starts with him staring at the clock.
Third, I think.
Might be the third. Yeah.
It could be the third, yeah.
The first one.
I remember the one for the hospital.
Yeah, that was last
going to
week.
be released. Yeah. And then there may have been another one. But yeah, there's more clocks, guys.
Okay.
It read 6:32 p.m. Derek will be here in 1.5 hours to pick me up. So I guess I should get ready now, he told himself. He wasn't really too thrilled about going on a blind date, but he didn't have anything better to do.
Oh, Jesus.
He pulled some clothes out of his closet and dresser and took a quick shower. After getting out of the shower, he got dressed, combed his hair, and splashed on a bit of cologne. He still had about 30 minutes to go before Derek was supposed to arrive, so he made himself a couple of hot dogs, brushed his teeth, then munched on some popcorn while he watched television until Derek showed up.
That's some popcorn before your date.
Yeah.
Door dogs.
They're going out to eat.
I like how he's
they're
like,
going out to dinner.
I like how he's seemingly resistant about doing this, but he had nothing better to do anyway.
I know,
It's like,
it's such clumsy writing. It's, you know, I don't know what to fucking say.
grabbed the hot dogs, brushed his teeth.
And then started eating again.
He's dead specific about things that don't matter. Like the things that do matter, like dialogue between the main characters and explaining character and explaining scenes and emotions. We don't get anything on, but we get details about treats and hot dogs and fucking popcorn.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck is he going on about, man?
He must have been eating. I don't know. I don't forget it. I got nothing.
Sorry, Tiff. Would you like to continue, please?
Yes. When he saw Derek's headlights shine on the wall through the living room window, he quickly grabbed his wallet and walked out the door, locking it behind him. Striding swiftly to the car, Aaron got in and said hello to Derek as he buckled his safety belt. "How are you doing, Aaron?" Derek asked. "Good. A little nervous. I'm not too big on blind dates," he told his friend with a friendly chuckle. "Well, you'll be happy to know that Brooke doesn't like blind dates either," Derek informed him. Aaron muttered. "Two people that don't like blind dates. Sounds like a match, huh?" he said with a hint of sarcasm in his voice. "Yeah," Derek laughed. "It was Amy's idea." "Oh, sure, blame it on the girlfriend," Aaron joked. "Yep, just don't tell her that. I could get into trouble for it," Derek responded. "Sounds like good blackmail material," Aaron thought, still joking. "Gee, thanks. By the way, I don't have any money in the bank, so if you blackmail me, make sure you want something small and worthless like a $10 watch from Walmart." "I'm guessing that the girls are
God,
at
that's
Amy's
fucking
house?"
stupid.
Aaron asked.
That's
It is, and it's
banter.
very reminiscent of the silver bracelet.
And tender heads.
Tenderheads, just a couple
Mom.
of tenderheads
I
going
can't
on a
believe
date.
he's just talking about some fucking cheap shit from Walmart.
I think they're on drugs. This is like the most banal conversation I've ever heard. It's. Oh, by the way, where's his date? Derek's date.
They're at Amy's house. So Amy is Derek's girlfriend.
Oh, the
Brooke is
girls
her
are with the
friend.
girls and the guys are with the guys.
Of
Got it.
course they are. Of course they
course.
are. That's
Yeah.
how it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I think you'll like Brooke. She's a really nice girl, Derek said, trying to ease Aaron's nervousness. Good, Aaron said, feeling better knowing that Derek held a high praise for his blind date. She's nice, so that's high praise, I guess. They pulled into Amy's driveway, got out of the car, and walked to the front door where Derek was greeted by Amy with a kiss, and then she greeted Aaron with a handshake and a hello. Amy ushered them to the kitchen, still holding Derek's hand, where Brooke stood waiting to be formally introduced to Aaron. Aaron's mouth dropped open as he caught his first look at Brooke, and he had to catch himself so he didn't give any hint of losing his cool with his first impression.
Can I just?
But he thought,
stop there.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
that writing there is not as bad as the rest of the book. So Aaron's mouth dropped open, and he had to catch himself so that he didn't. So he's explaining his emotional state and what he's actually doing. We've not had that at any other point in the book. I'm not. It's not. Do you understand what I'm getting at? I'm trying to at least say, well, at least he fucking. It's not as
he was
clumsy
juiced up
as
for
the
this.
rest of it.
He dreams about this moment. I mean, you got to remember, this is him, and it kind of reminds me of him coming in with Kayla.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Did his mouth drop open when he
It
saw
dropped open
Casey?
when
Well,
Chris
just-
Hansen walked out.
It
Well,
sure did.
He avoided eye contact with her until he sat down. But oh my God. But this is all what he imagines it's going to be like, or maybe he got this far once.
Well, he's
I don't
seen
know.
this how many times in a movie? I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
you can all pick this out too, where the guy walks in and the girl is standing there, and the music starts,
It's
and
very
he's just
predictable,
kind of
isn't it?
staring. Like,
Even
It's
though I
very
don't think the
predictable,
writing
yeah.
here is that bad for Lorne, because it gives you a state of what he's going through. It's ridiculously like predictable. Like even this next bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were up to, but he thought he was.
But he thought she was completely beautiful, and he noticed that she hadn't taken her eyes off of him either.
Gawkins.
That's a good sign, he thought to himself. He was able to move his eyes off Brooke when the sound of Amy's voice jerked him from his unexpected trance.
Andrew, that's
Aaron, this is Brooke.
Trance, how you spell trance.
No.
You got so basically she's transsexual? Is that what that is?
That's what it was like. Oh, Lon's going to get in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of shit going around today about what you can say and what you can't say.
And fuck these editors, right?
What editors?
You had 5 of them on this book, don't you remember?
Listen, dude.
They
no
didn't actually
fucking
read
body
it.
has ever edited this book.
Okay.
Nobody that can read, anyway.
Yeah, I don't think they actually read this. And plus, when he would have sent it to them, he would have sent like handwritten pages. You know,
people in the chat are saying Aaron becomes a woman. Unexpected trans. Maybe that's the twist in the whole book that we've not like. You've all read it before, and you've totally forgot that Aaron transitioned into a woman, and that's what made him nuts.
That would make for a far more interesting story.
Yeah.
When you read more, Tiffany, I have a hard time divorcing Lauren from this character in this case.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I love this part. I love this next part.
Beautiful.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh, you see, I'm looking forward to this now. Right. Go on then.
Aaron, this is Brooke. Brooke, this is Aaron, Amy said after noticing the sparks between the two of the strangers. Aaron reached his hand out to shake Brooke's, and he felt a rush of heat flow from her soft hand into his body. She's beautiful, he thought as he struggled to say hello to her. Brooke was a slight overweight.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite part in the whole book.
But Aaron didn't notice right away. But he did.
Ellen was slightly overweight too.
Why have all these women got to be slightly overweight?
I don't know. So Brooke was
maybe that's to show that he's such a good guy.
Yep, virtue signal. Yep.
The fact that she's slightly overweight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because she's got a pretty hot face. What an asshole.
You didn't expect anything else, Amanda James, did you?
No.
Well, this is his fictional character. She could be perfect. She could be like, a Victoria's Secret model or something. But for some reason, he decided to describe her as being slightly overweight.
He's going to describe her. Oh, I read on. I'm sorry. Go. Oh, I'm sorry.
But
Brooke was a slight overweight. That actually doesn't make any sense. Sort of, you know what I mean? If you were going to...
Instead of saying slightly.
Yeah. A slight over... So does he refer to women that may be, maybe...
Voluptuous?
Yeah. Does he... There's a slight overweight over there. Don't like her. Oh, have you seen... Did you get a load of the slight overweight?
I don't get it. I don't even know what slightly overweight means. Is that like a 2.5% more body fat than you should have? Or, I mean, can you see it in
just a little
clothes? Is there ass big? What's he saying?
It doesn't like...
Just a little bit fat.
It doesn't make any sense in the context of... Because he's trying to describe some kind of beautiful scene. And then that just comes in out of nowhere. For what purpose? Like you said, Amanda James, it does seem to be that he's trying to virtue signal for Aaron, but it doesn't...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that her alleged overweightness doesn't apply to the rest of the book in any way.
The breeder hips.
I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't.
No, not at all.
But it's just like Blue Boy said, he didn't notice right away, but it's the first thing he mentions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was sitting at a desk and he didn't notice it right away until she got up and walked
Well, he was
around.
looking at her face and her hair rather than her
Yeah.
body at first.
And he was in a trance anyway, so
He was in a trance, right?
What was he thinking when he wrote that? Like, he just... Oh, I don't know.
But Aaron
It's like the
didn't
overweight
notice
thing
that
in the
right
pool.
away.
Right, it's not, I think.
Because he was caught up in the beauty of her face with her big brown eyes with long, thick lashes, beautiful, soft, straight blonde hair, and
Ooh, of
dimples
course.
so precious when she smiled made Aaron hear his own heartbeat.
Precious.
She was about
Can I just
3
point
inches
out really
shorter than-
quick? Sorry, I just want to point out really, really quick. Lauren has talked about his sister's dimples before and how cute they are.
Yes.
He's got a real thing for dimples. And I mean, that's fine. But the fact that he brings up his sister's dimples as an example of something that he thinks is really cute. That's
You mean
what
like on
I
a
think is
cheeks,
weird.
like cheeks, dimples?
Yeah, and
yeah.
her cheeks.
Mhm.
And this will be a discussion for another time, I'm sure, but I think that she may have been his first sexual interest.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you know, I could see that. He's told stories. You're right. It's for another time, but I see where you're coming from.
The blonde hair is appropriate, though. Just
The blonde
It's a
hair, the fact that it was also long.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Those
Yeah,
brown
that was
eyes do
something too.
surprise me a bit, though.
It's so funny, right? Think about this guy, right? We've got a Derek, we've got a $10 gift from Walmart, and we've got long blonde hair, dimples. It's fucking
Wait a minute, wait. You bought her a
staggering.
gift?
No, he mentioned
missed
the
No.
$10 Walmart watch before. Not a gift, but you know,
Oh.
it's like it's like the
And his
$10
friendly-
bracelet.
That's like it's like his
Yeah,
prep work.
and his friendly cajoling with Derek in the car. They discussed the $10 watch from Walmart.
He's cajoling and they're retorting to each other.
He's
And he mutters
big
once
and
in a while.
us all with his cromulent words.
Right.
Okay.
Shit.
Can I just look? Okay, gotcha. Caught up. Thank you.
Okay. She was about 3 inches shorter than Aaron's 5'8",
Of
which
course.
was good because Aaron wasn't attracted to women that was taller than himself. He slid his hand from
I was
hers
getting worried then when he
Derek's
said,
voice-
all I saw was he slid his.
Right. He slid his hand from hers when Derek's voice interrupted his brain this time. So again, we have Lorne, who believes that he's 5'8",
Yeah.
which he is.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And interesting,
But
you
certainly,
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I was going to
That's
say
okay,
it's
go ahead.
interesting that he admits to not wanting to date taller women. You know,
right.
I've never heard Lauren say that.
No, and as a
Well-
matter of fact, Jamie's supposed to be a lot taller than
Right.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Right.
And he that's kind of I mean, he'll take it. Like and if you've
course.
seen Jamie, then who wouldn't? But I think that's kind of a touchy subject for him, judging by the fact that he lies about his height. But I also just have to laugh that he said Aaron wasn't attracted to women that was taller than himself.
Right.
Yeah, it's written in a bizarre way, isn't it?
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to use was and were.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so funny that he read that to himself. He's
Right, let me try again.
Well, I think we're on, bro. Oh no, this is your
Prince
your
Andrew.
picture of Andrew.
Yeah, I've just changed it.
It's up.
Are we up again?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Can you hear us okay, guys? I'm expecting the comment about my internet provider, right, by the way, and I'm prepared for it. I'm fucking prepared for it this time. I do need to fucking ring them, actually.
You already got a couple.
It's a bit of a fucking
Do you have some snappy comebacks now?
No, not really. I'll have to think of some for next week. Yeah, so, yeah, we're good. Right, that's great. So, let me just get the... Hold on a minute. Let me just get it. I have to get the comments on my phone so I can see it at the same time. Right, okay, so... let's get back to the where were we up to? We were talking. We didn't get
they
back.
just met.
Yeah, so we were talking about. Are we ready to go? Derek asked. I'm ready. I think we were up to there, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready if the ladies are. Aaron answered, trying to impress Brooke by putting the ladies first to make a decision of when to go. We're ready, Amy answered for herself and Brooke. Aaron and Derek escorted Amy and Brooke out to the car and opened the doors for them, then walked around to the other side and climbed in themselves. The night moved along as they went out to eat, to see a movie, and then to a dance club. Aaron was happy to find out that Brooke only liked slow dances because he couldn't dance fast dances very well, and it always gave him a reason to hold her close to him and get to know her better with a one-on-one conversation.
What? It always gives him a reason to... they've not even got... that doesn't make any sense. Oh, right,
I think the order... I think the order of activities on the dates kind of whack. I think I would go with the movie first, then dinner, and then dancing.
Well, I always just say, listen, I've got an hotel room booked. Should we just skip all this and get straight to it? I mean, that usually works.
That's kind of a long night. So they go out to eat and then see a movie and then they're dancing? They're going to a date?
Yeah, that is a long night. It's a 6-hour date.
Yeah, and I think that's more evidence that Lauren has never been on a date because that's
exactly
agreed.
Usually
yeah,
how
and I've never been on one that lasts longer than an hour because I usually I'm just going to the toilet and then for some strange reason they never come back.
Right.
Just disappear, huh?
Right. I mean, if you're sitting at dinner, it's natural for you to go get a few drinks after that. But for you to have dinner and then go to a movie and then go to a dance club kind of like breaks up things a little bit. He's never been.
Yeah, you've got to subtract one of those. All three, that's too much.
And then, just to insert Lauren's real life into this, he was asked one time, I think a long time ago, that's right, about his dancing, and he only liked to do slow dances.
I would
and
kill
so
to
does
watch
Aaron.
him.
So
Everything's so convenient, isn't it?
Could you imagine how awkward that dance would be?
He looked like Elaine Bennis on Seinfeld.
You know, this goes back to what we were just talking about. Why can't Aaron have some like really impressive dance skills? He's a fictional character. He could do anything. But
he just wanted to do the slow dances so she can feel his boner.
Yeah,
that's right.
I don't think Aaron could get one though. Well, actually, let's not.
They were both happy to learn all they had in common. By the end of the night,
what?
Aaron and Brooke had happily agreed on a second date.
We've skipped out the most important bit. Like, we're supposed to have there's a romantic kind of, what do you call a secondary plot? Like in a book.
Like a
subplot?
Yeah, subplot. Secondary subplot. But that needs to be like expanded upon. It's a little bit like, so no, he woke up in the hospital, or he suddenly found himself at home, or that 5-hour meeting with his superintendent, with his commander, has finished, and suddenly it's the end of the night. So there's been no exchange between the two of them of how they got on, the dynamics of the relationship, a little bit. If you know, it's like I'm sorry to go back to Star Wars again, but I do use it as a comparison. It's like the fucking worse than the Attack of Clones fucking love plot. At least we got something. What have we got here?
Yeah, I pulled out what I needed from that end.
Aaron and Brooke had happily agreed on a second date and exchanged phone numbers. Well, fucking thanks for that, Lorne. That's great.
I'd like to know what kind of restaurant they ate at, and you know,
how
I'd
much
like to
the
know
bill
what
was.
ordered.
Did Aaron pay his part? Was he whinging about not having money? Who was it? He was whinging to a skimp before.
Yeah.
How was he still hungry? He ate 2 hot dogs and popcorn and then went straight out to dinner. And that's the order of the date. They went to dinner
They
first,
were door dogs.
and then they went to a movie, and I'm assuming they had popcorn and like candy and
Right.
all the good stuff you have at the movies. And then they went out dancing. And let's see what happens when Aaron gets back home. You think maybe he's going to eat again? He might.
He
Probably
might.
farting everywhere, man.
I think, you know what we should do for a laugh? We should make our own Taken Abroad and adapt Lorne's original outline and change it. Like, so we could have Aaron turns into a transsexual, and then rather than, because he has a problem eating, he turns into a cannibal and starts eating his friends. Like, you know,
Okay.
that'd be much more interesting.
Maybe
I like
Shin
to
can
know-
write that in place of his
I want to
book
know
report.
whether Brooke's stuck with her diet or not. That's what I want to know. Did she order a salad? What did she order at?
Yeah, do you think Aaron had a go at her during mid-wheel and said, do you really think she'll be eating that pizza?
Really?
Slightly overweight. You don't want that to get any worse.
You know, I mean, I have stupid little hokey things like maybe put like whipped cream from the dessert on her nose or something like
Yeah.
that. That's this kind of shit that he would write. But he didn't even give us that. They ate.
Not a
Twice,
single line of
3 times.
dialogue between the two. They were happy to learn all they had in common. We have no idea what they have in common. He didn't
Amanda
bother
James,
to.
read what Joker has just put. There's only you that would get that.
Let me find it. Aaron hates sand.
Yeah. When Anakin's going on about fucking sand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Oh God, I
Just
know
watch-
exactly. The fuck.
Just watch the movies, you guys.
Oh, what's wrong with you people? It's better than this
Just
shit.
watch them.
I can't get past those play actors doing those cosplays in front of the movie theater, Andrew. I can't get past
Right,
those.
fair enough. I'll have it.
Okay.
Sorry.
By the end of the night, Aaron and Brooke had happily agreed on a second date and exchanged phone numbers before she gave him a kiss on the cheek and parted ways. Derek and Aaron talked on the way to dropping Aaron off at home. Thank you for thinking about asking me to go on a date with her before asking anyone else.
What
Who
is
Aaron
this?
said
who
to his
fucking
friend.
talks like this?
Like recapping what
You're
just
very
happened for the
welcome.
night.
You're very...
That was a lovely meal, movie, and dancing. Thank you very much. That should do it.
You're very welcome, Derek replied. So you two have set up another date with each other, huh? Yep, a week from tomorrow, Aaron answered. Where are you going to take her? Derek inquired. She said she likes roller skating, so I told her we could do that, even though I'd probably be spending most of my time on my butt. Derek laughed. Well, maybe she'll take pity on you and hold your hand. That's what I'm hoping for, Aaron cajoled.
Oh, he cajoled.
Derek-
Joel, don't they?
He sure did. What a lame
Jesus Christ, what a boring
conversation.
fucking date
I
that is.
know.
Okay.
It's like he's never had a friend. He's never spoken to a real person in his life. This is how he thinks conversations and interactions go.
He thinks it's witty. He thinks it's
Maybe she'll hold
clever
your
banter.
hand.
Do you know what's funny, right?
And
If-
why do you have to wait a week and a half to see her or whatever the hell it was?
Playing it cool, dude. He's not like Lorne ringing her up fucking 60 times a night.
Oh, so
Well, maybe he is, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he
Jesus.
is.
Derek pulled into Aaron's driveway, and the two shook hands and said goodbye before Aaron got out of the car and closed the door, then watched his friend drive away before entering the house.
Oh God.
He turned after closing the door behind him and walked to the kitchen, where he found a note left on the table for him by his
I knew
mother.
it.
He smiled because his mother had always left notes for him on the table when he was in school, and he enjoyed the memory. He picked up the note and read it.
Mother's
Aaron.
voice, please.
Aaron,
I don't think I
There's
could
some
do that
ham.
home. Oh my God.
in case you're hungry,
That's his fourth meal, right? Is that his
Oh,
fourth
yeah.
meal tonight?
the fat
Yes.
fucker.
It's his third one.
It's his third
Yeah.
one in this evening.
He's gonna have a massive shit in the morning, man.
Aaron, there's some ham, potatoes, and peas on a plate in the refrigerator for you in case you're hungry when you get home from your date. Leave me a note to let me know how your date went, and I'll let you sleep in tomorrow. If you don't leave me a note, then I'm going to wake you up so I can find out and hear about it. I love you. Did I just cut out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut out
No.
a little bit,
Oh,
so I
sorry about
couldn't
that.
hear you.
Sorry, I got a call. If you
Okay.
don't leave me a note,
Yes, I got to hear Amanda on this one. That note.
Well,
help me
did
out
we
here.
finish it? I just didn't hear you say mom. That's the
Yeah,
only
that
thing
was
you
the
cut
only
out
bit
for
you
me
didn't
for.
say. Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, yeah, there you go. Okay, I wasn't sure.
I don't even know what to say.
I
She
know.
left him a note and said, "You write me a note and tell me how your date went. Give me the
So they just
details, and if you
communicate
do
by
that,
notes.
well,
I know
I
that's
won't.
weird
I'll
too.
let you sleep in the morning if you write me a note. But I need
Everybody
to
lets them
know
sleep in.
right
Yeah.
now what happened. And if you don't leave me a note, I'm waking you up because I need to know exactly what happened on your date. How strange is
Dear
that?"
Mom, we did missionary in the back of the car.
Hmm. That's what I was thinking. Like, dear mom, she's super hot. She's slightly fat,
He's
but
like,
I like her dimples. We held hands, we kissed, and I love her. Love Aaron.
I love it how he can't.
Exactly.
I love her
He's
so
got a
much.
load of typos in his fucking note to his mom, which is quite funny.
And why would he be hungry when he got home from his date where he took a
Thank
girl
you.
out to eat dinner?
After
He
consuming
shouldn't
hot
be
He's
dogs
an
and
hungry.
eating
popcorn.
sleeping machine.
This fucker eats popcorn before he goes out on his date. What a fucking weirdo.
And hot dog. And a hot dog.
And then dinner, and
A
then more
couple of them.
popcorn.
And then
Yeah.
popcorn at the movie. No, it probably went more popcorn at the movie. Then, yeah.
That's
No.
true. They probably did eat at the movies too.
Of course, everybody does. You get bored. So I do, at least. I can't watch a movie for like 2 hours without having popcorn. And then he goes home and eats ham, potatoes, and peas, which is just
A
a
full
strangely
dinner.
specific. Right. She could just say, "There's some leftovers in the fridge for you." He's always so specific about the food. I think he was just
Yeah.
starving. He was so
Yeah,
hungry.
I think
in
he was just
prison.
hungry in prison all the time, and he's just
Me too.
writing that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and wanted to talk about all of his favorite things.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, 'cause
tried
he can't
so-
have
Yeah.
them.
Do you think his real mother, would leave him a plate of dinner in the refrigerator after a date and leave him a note like that? First of all,
You talking about his win?
nobody would do that.
Yeah.
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 Maybe
Of
the
course
maybe
she
the
wouldn't.
dinner, but not the note.
No.
I think it is really weird to leave that note for your son. If you don't write me a note telling me the details, I'm going to wake you up so you can tell. I think that's so strange. Wait till he wakes
Well, they
up to
have
hear
such a-
about it.
Yeah.
I interpreted that as a bit of banter, Amanda James.
Yeah,
If
I do
Long
too.
Yeah.
could write, so do you know what I mean?
You're
It was
right.
like a bit of a jokey kind of thing. Oh, I'm dead excited. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, you're right, because when you hear Lorne talk to his mother, he tries to be very playful and like cute and funny.
Yeah.
He's always
It's over
trying to
the
joke
top
with her.
sexual almost. You know, it's like, if
I
you don't
agree.
tell me, I'm going to
Yeah,
Go
let's
to your
not
bed
go
and
there,
snuggle
dude.
with
his
you.
mom. Like he's really like weirdly flirty with his mother.
Oh Christ!
He
don't,
says-
do
There's
not
no
put that
boundaries.
image in my head.
There's no boundaries.
He thinks it's cute. He thinks it shows how close they are, that they have this really close friendship as well as like a mother-son relationship. And he does it, of course, when he has somebody listening on the phone.
Right.
I mean, we don't really know what he sounds like when he talks to her when we're not there, of course. But I think part of it's him putting on a show. He's trying to be cute. He thinks it's funny. And he even says to his girlfriends, "See how my mom is? That's how we talk to each other." And he thinks that's impressive.
Yeah, Mom's lock
Yeah.
the door. Somebody's going to come in and rape you unless that's something that you're looking for.
Mhm.
Fuck. That's what he says. That's what he said, Andrew.
Oh dear.
Well, she said something like, you know, I wish
Haven't
I was
had a
that
man in a
lucky
while.
or
Something
something.
like that.
Yeah. And he thought that was real cute.
Dear Mom, we didn't do anything, but I showed her it tonight.
Right. Aaron smiled and flipped the paper over to write his mother a note about his date like she asked him to. Mom, my date was really good. I have another date with her next Saturday night. We'll tell you about it when I wake up. I love you, Aaron.
So he didn't
put the
tell
pen
her
down.
about it. He just said, she said, "I want to hear about your date." He just said it was good, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it when I wake up. What was the point of
Yeah.
that?
Continuity, baby. That's what it is. Just total lack of it.
I don't know.
Idiot.
At least,
He
at
should
least
have
they gave it just.
read her a whole note.
You know,
Yeah, why
and
didn't he give her the details? Why bother writing the note without telling her? He didn't even say, like, we went to dinner, we went to a movie. I shouldn't be hungry, but I still am. We
he
slow
wants to tell her
danced.
about
He
her
doesn't say any
feelings,
of
I
that.
think. He doesn't want to tell her about
Can
the
I
events.
just say, guys, on the screen, you see what I've highlighted? Really is spelt with an F. Now, this could be whoever transcribed it onto the Temple Teacup forum.
Real fly.
There could have been, yeah.
Ralphie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really in the book itself. It's correct.
Yeah. So sorry to get you all excited, guys, about a ridiculously stupid spelling thing that Lorne may have done, which I can appreciate. You would have thought he would, but that's not true. Just to point that out.
You know what
I'm
I
sure
feel
we'll
when
find
I
more.
smell? I haven't read ahead yet, but I feel like there's a grandchildren discussion coming up. I don't know why.
What?
Well, there was already.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was
but
already when.
There
I
might
think
be
there's
another
gonna be
one that I
another
can't remember.
I think
I
there
hope
is.
so.
It has to be. You know, that's all
Okay.
she's thinking.
Well, let's find out. He sat the pen down, walked to the refrigerator, and pulled out the plate of food his mother had left for him. After peeling the plastic wrap off the plate, he slid it in the microwave to warm it up. He poured himself a tall glass of milk while his food was heating up and set it on the table.
The fuck?
When the beeper sounded on the microwave, he retrieved his
Oh.
plate of food, sat down, and ate. He replayed the events of his blind date with Brooke in his mind as he scarfed down his food. I really liked this girl, he decided to himself in a whispered voice.
Oh.
I hope it works out with her.
Oh,
He
crazy.
finished his food, downed his glass of milk, and set his plate in the sink before retiring to bed. It was
Watch
the first
fucking
thing.
thing.
It was the
Yeah.
first time in a long time that he had been able to go to bed without thinking of something from the war. Aaron woke
What?
up at 8 the next morning to the smell of his mom cooking sausage, biscuits, and gravy for breakfast.
Sausage
Sorry.
biscuits?
And
The fuck are sausage biscuits?
sausage and biscuits. Biscuits and
Yeah, that's a
gravy.
big thing.
But there's
Yeah,
no
he liked-
commas.
No, there's no commas. We don't do that here. And heard the sound of the what?
Yeah, I was going to say the preceding paragraph. What a asshole he is to just leave the plate in there like that.
Yeah, what else
Of
is
course, I know.
Get used to it.
Well, it's the same thing when they had that party for him.
Oh yeah,
He
I'll
said,
clean up tomorrow.
"Oh, Mom said she was going to clean up tomorrow," and he's like, "Okay," and just leaves
Yeah.
everything there. Let's see, and heard the sound of the coffee pot brewing a fresh, hot pot of coffee. He slowly sat up in his bed and rubbed the sleep from his eyes, and then looked around the room for his clothes. After sliding on his pants and slipping into his slippers, he pulled a clean T-shirt from his dresser drawer, threw it on over himself, and went out into the kitchen, where he greeted his mother with a kiss on the cheek and a polite good morning.
Oh,
By the smirk on your face, I'm guessing that you like this girl? His mother asked.
She's already
with
read the
a,
fucking
You
note.
can't hide your feeling.
Yeah. Exactly. He already said he had a really good time and they're going out again. That would probably indicate that he likes her. Their relationship with his mother is so gross and weird. He's just he's too weird about it. With a polite good morning rather than what? A rude good morning?
Yeah, I guess.
The whole mother thing, the whole mother dynamic in this book is just ridiculous. I mean, it really is. It's like she's the main point. She's kind of the main second. She's the secondary character in this book, but she's got no story relevance. If
She
you think about
exists
it,
just her whole world is Aaron. All she thinks about, all she cares about is what is going on in his mind and what he's feeling. It's like I don't think he ever mentions anything else about her job, her hobbies, anything. Just what
it's all
what they do
about her
together.
feelings for him.
in
That's all it's
my
about.
in my version of the book, where Aaron becomes a transsexual and a cannibal, he tries on his mother's clothes, then kills her, eats her, and then that's when
Jesus
it gets
Christ.
interesting.
I'd read it.
Holy shit. It's just, you're right. It's all about his mother's, in terms of what we know about her character. The only thing we need to know is that she loves Aaron so much. That's it.
Mm.
That's all we need to
Loves him
know.
so much that she put a surprise party on for him for a son
Yeah.
suffering from PTSD, and had the
Right.
lights flashing
Right.
on and off, and bangers, them little bangers that people use at party poppers and stuff.
Right. Had a bunch of people standing in a room screaming surprise when he walked in the door.
Someone put the comment in the last video and just said that's fucking hilarious. Like, it is so it's so funny.
It's just so creepy to just, if I was at my mother's house and I had dated somebody and my mother sat at a table with me and was third degreeing me like this, I said, what the hell, man? This is weird. My mother I couldn't imagine my mother.
Yeah, and I can't believe I've not thought of this. Someone has just said you've just described Chris Chang. I don't want to talk about him in detail, but I think we've all heard what fucking has happened with him in the last couple of weeks. He definitely had a bizarre relationship with his mother.
Well, he did, but I think when it comes to Lauren, he is really into the mothering, the nurturing, the caring for that she's going to do. She cooks for him, she cleans for him, she lets him sleep in. He doesn't have to lift a finger. And it is really funny that she put on this party. He's going out on a date and everything. He just was released from the Army because he couldn't function anymore. Something major mentally happened to him, and he had to be hospitalized, and now he's home. And it's like he's just a regular person, like nothing happened. He just came home, and we're gonna throw a party. We're gonna go out on dates and everything. It is very bizarre, like as if he doesn't. He lost it over there, but now he comes back, and it's just Aaron.
It's just ignored. You're totally right.
That's a good point.
He said he spent 3 months in a psychiatric hospital over there, and the doctor finally gave him the okay to go home. And any of his mental health stuff it's completely ignored. There's no talk of like him seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything. His mom just wants to talk about going out on dates and like you said, Tiffany, parties and cooking his favorite food for dinner. There's no like follow up to this. He suffered something incredibly traumatic, but they never. I think I doubt he really brings it up, but I'm sure he would say like his mother thought she was doing him a favor by not talking about it. She didn't want to bring it up and upset him, but that's not how it works.
Yeah. His mother represents kind of like an extreme version of every character in this book, and that is somebody who's going to dote on Aaron, somebody who's going to pamper him, somebody who's going to admire him, somebody's going to love him. Every character in the book has that to a certain degree, but his mother just is over the top with it.
That's a great point about about his mental health issues. This is why. I mean, don't forget the reasons he was discharged from the service are fucking sketchy at best, and that didn't make any sense. But like you say, there's no treatment. It doesn't even get touched upon. No wonder he ends up fucking killing people. He's fucking. It's like not being addressed at all. But at least if there was some kind of behaviour, like when I said he started eating people, at least like. But the point is, there's not even like any hint of. There's kind of. I suppose the only thing he's touched upon is he's having trouble sleeping. That's it, isn't it?
A cold sweat when he watched the news. He saw hallucination of Paul, I guess, on the way home. We haven't seen that happen yet.
So we've had the lack of sleep and the hallucination of Paul, but it's not really affecting anything else. Nobody, like you said, Tiffany, nobody brings it up. Sorry, it was Manny James. Nobody brings it up. There's no medication. There's no treatments with, because there would be some kind of professional help, you would hope.
Yeah, he had an outpatient schedule, some kind of a treatment plan or something when he got out.
Yeah, it would make sense that after going through something like that where he had to be hospitalized, that they're not just going to, bye, and he's done. I mean, even on his part, not necessarily that they would have to set everything up for him and everything if that's not the case, but even on his part, even on his mother's, I mean, somebody coming home, it wasn't as if he was just coming home because he ended his tour. He was coming home because he was released due to his mental health. And she immediately is like, okay, we're going to throw a party. Everybody come over.
Yeah.
It seems like somebody would obviously be in a little bit more of a fragile state, that perhaps, he's very shaken up. He needs to try to get back to himself, like Lauren wished for
Go within
everybody in the
himself.
beginning of his.
You know what?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
The
almost
only,
like Lauren forgot that Aaron was suffering from PTSD and mental health stuff when he wrote this part. It's like he just totally
Mhm.
forgot about it, and he's just
he
you know,
compartmentalized the mental health stuff for his excuse later. That he just kind of does that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's a disabled vet in this situation.
Yeah.
He would have a lot of care available to him.
Mhm.
Do you know,
So-
that's what I say about the very basic outline of the story is not bad. There's a lot that can be done. Some idealistic young person goes into war. Something, I know it's tired, but a tired concept or a tired story can be made good if it's done with a bit of imagination and a bit of skill.
Seriously?
No, but think about it. Like, not obviously, don't mean if Lorna wrote it, but some.
No, I didn't mean that. But even the storyline is kind of,
No, I mean, what
it's
I
kind of
mean is
cliche
this
almost.
storyline is shit. But what I mean is that a young idealistic person goes over there and some shit happens to him and he comes back and then it affects his life and it manifests in all these different ways. There's a lot that can be done with it, but it's like
You mean
Lorne's
like Deer
got the
Hunter?
ball and doesn't actually do anything with it.
Okay.
Right.
Well, there are a lot of movies like that. Deer Hunter, another, I can't remember another one. Platoon. People come back and they have PTSD. But this is not anything new. This is just.
Oh no, I
an
know it's
attempt
not
for
anything
him-
new. It's tired, and it's. But what I'm saying is, there's still potential for a decent story. The basic premise isn't totally without hope, is what I'm getting at. There's a lot that can be
I don't
done
think
with
it's
it.
salvageable.
Oh no, not in the way he's done it. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just that
Yeah.
he's got the ball and he's not done
America's
anything with it.
sniper.
It's just fucking stood there in the middle of the centre park, spinning in circles. He's
First Blood. Yeah, there's a lot of movies like this, but
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even a movie; it's a fucking book. Yeah, but it's very strange. Should we get on to the next bit?
Sure. By the smirk on your face, I'm guessing that you like this girl? His mother asked with a "you can't hide your feelings" look on her face. Yeah, I like her a lot, he replied as he smiled at his mother's remark. Well then, tell me about her, she ordered with a smile on her face. He obeyed and began telling her about the night as he poured his cup of coffee. He told her about having a second date with her the next weekend and what she looked like. They talked about her while they ate their breakfast, and then before they knew it, they had finished the whole pot of coffee, and it was almost noontime. I've been sitting here talking with you about Brooke all morning, and I haven't gotten any of my housework done. I better get started on it before the day is over and it's time for bed again. His mother pet him on the arm and then got up and began to do her housework, while Aaron finished his cup of coffee and thought about what he was going to do for the rest of the day. After about 15 minutes of contemplating, he decided he would give his car a good cleaning out, then wash and wax it. He didn't want to be taking Brooke out on a date in a dirty car. Yeah, I don't believe she'd be too impressed with me if I picked her up with my car looking as messy as it does right now, he thought as he set his empty cup of coffee on the counter by the kitchen sink. Why not in the kitchen sink?
Because he's a lazy fucker, and that's mom's job. As a mom, that really annoys me.
That is annoying. Nothing. Puts it next to the kitchen sink.
Can I just point out too? He's making it a priority to clean his car. They're going out in like a week and a half.
Yeah,
I know.
And what's this got to do with anything? Like, what relevance has this got to anything?
None.
And the thing is, he went on one date with her with two other people. It wasn't as they went to dinner, then they went to a movie, so they're not going to be talking. Then they went to this dance club, and even though he said that they had one-on-one conversation, how great could that conversation be? Yeah. With loud music, other people. I'm sure that they were interacting with Derek and Amy too. So, and Yeah, so he gets up at 8, goes out to the kitchen, and they talk until noon about this woman that he can't know. There can't be 4 hours worth of conversation.
Holy shit.
It's crazy. Yeah.
They were talking about their potential future and their grandchildren. And I mean, you're right. It's ridiculous. And he doesn't, instead of telling us what he said to his mother about the date,
Just
because that would give an
Yeah.
opportunity to describe the date from the night before, because he didn't describe it as it was happening. He just said, yeah, they talked about it for a long time without any any detail at all. Tons of details about the breakfast and the coffee.
What if Brooke didn't even want to see him again? You know, they're always assuming.
Well,
that
she already agreed. She already agreed to the date.
And she wouldn't have agreed if she wasn't in love with him. So
Yeah. I mean, no one's ever agreed to just go out with somebody and then not really want to.
When does he
I
get
think
in
it's
his
funny
car?
that was his reason for cleaning his car, because Brooke wouldn't be very impressed if he had a dirty car. Like, he can't ever do anything. But that's very Lorne-like, isn't it? Like, he never wants to improve himself or his living situation or anything like that, just to be better for him, because his standards personally are higher than that. It's always for a girlfriend or for a woman.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Quitting smoking, just anything.
Oh, he doesn't smoke in this. That's unusual.
I thought that too.
Do you know what I'm really surprised about in this book? I mean, it parallels the writer Lorne's life. Like you just mentioned, Amanda James, about him cleaning the car, but it's all in service of, a woman. Like you said, there's no motivation by himself, is there, to do anything. There's so many other parallels that you can take from it. It's funny as well, obviously, but I didn't expect it to be so blatant in Lorne world. Basically, I can't.
See, I wouldn't expect anything different. Yeah.
Well, now that I'm actually saying it, I'm kind of feel a bit stupid for not expecting it, really. But I suppose I underestimated his stupidity yet again. It keeps happening.
Yeah.
Wants to wash his car before he starts stalking her around town.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to read the next bit?
Mm-hmm. It was only 3:30 in the afternoon when he finished his car, so he decided to go over his sister Kelly's house and see his new nephew, Hayden, that Kelly had when he was overseas in Iraq. He called her to make sure she was going to be home, then headed over. When he arrived, he found his brother-in-law, Josh, and his older nephew, Blake, playing pass with a baseball out on the front lawn.
Pass?
Yeah, well, that's a bit strange. You play
Football.
pass with the baseball. You mean they just threw it to each other? Is it like the Rube?
Just throwing it back and
They
forth.
were in tuxedos.
You play catch when you throw a baseball.
Right.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
That is true.
Yes.
Yeah. He stepped out of the car and closed the door just in time to catch his nephew jumping up in his arms.
There it is.
Uncle Aaron, Blake shouted in an excited voice as he wrapped his arms around Aaron in a death grip hug. Aaron smiled as he bared with a long, choking hug. Hi, Blake. I missed you too. Aaron strained the words as he tried cope with the bear hug. Blake released his arms as he drew back and looked at his uncle in a hero worship kind of way.
In a
How long can
hero
we stay here?
worship
He
kind
asked.
of way. That's just
Yeah.
brilliant writing, that, isn't it?
Well, that is so
Yeah.
Lorne. All he wants is somebody to worship him. That is his ultimate fantasy, is for someone to love him, admire him, look up to him. He would love that, to show up, to be the favorite uncle, Lorne. Actually, I think he tried to be the favorite uncle with his
He
niece.
did.
And he gets to
I
physically
think
touch
this
a
is
kid
reminiscent of that.
Mm-hmm.
in his fantasy.
Yeah.
He gets to physically touch a kid. This is good. See, I'm
For a
not
little
a
while.
rapist. Sorry.
Aaron replied as they stepped back on the dirt driveway. Cool. Mom's inside with Hayden. He's only 6 months old, so Mom says he has to stay inside where it's cool. Blake spat out. That's right. Don't want him to get sunburned. Aaron said as he looked away from his nephew and reached his hand out to his brother-in-law to shake it as he approached. Hi, Josh. Hey, Aaron. How's it feel to be home? Josh asked. It feels good. Different, but good, he replied. Blake, why don't you lead the way to show Uncle Aaron your new baby brother? Josh ordered. Maybe he'll come out and play pass with us for a little bit before he leaves, too.
It's not a mistake.
Blake obeyed and looked up at Aaron. Will you play pass with us before you leave, Uncle Aaron?
Of course,
Yes, I will. Aaron smiled and ruffled Blake's hair. Cool. Blake exhausted as he jumped up and down. Exhausted?
Right.
That's weird.
Exclaimed,
okay.
Maybe he meant? Yeah.
Maybe.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Kelly is probably in the kitchen cooking supper. She'll be happy to see you, Josh explained. She's been wondering when you would come over to visit us, so she was happy when you called to let her know you were coming. Blake opened the entrance door, and Aaron and Josh followed him inside. Aaron stopped Blake and put his finger to his lips in a signal for shh. He then walked past Blake, moving through the living room, and then slowly and quietly moved toward the kitchen, where he could hear his sister moving dishes around and talking to the baby. He peeked around the corner to see where she was standing. She was standing with her back to him, so he moved and stood in the kitchen doorway, then purposely made a throat-clearing noise. He could tell he succeeded in surprising her when she jumped and spun around in the sudden expected sound. Oh my God, Aaron! She yelled as she walked briskly over to give him a tight hug with one arm and held the baby in another. How long have you been standing there? She asked with a smile on her face. Not long.
Isn't that creepy? Why is he peeking around a corner staring at his sister? And he called to tell her he was coming. He just said that. Why is she surprised?
Because he doesn't remember what he writes.
It's like she's seen him for the first time in ages, but wasn't she one of the ones that were torturing him with this fucking surprise party?
No.
Yeah, wasn't she at the party?
Not.
Why not?
Why wouldn't she be there?
Go to her brother's
he probably
surprise party.
He probably forgot that she wasn't there.
Right.
Maybe she was the only one. Maybe she was the only one who thought, actually, do you not think this fucking surprise party for our fallen heroes a bit... I'm not coming. I'm not having any part of this.
You know what? I
if he goes berserk, I'm not getting shot.
He decided to go visit his friend Derek to peel potatoes before he decided to go visit his own sister and her new baby, who he has never met before, and his beloved nephew. I think he just decided at this moment during writing, like, oh, maybe Erin has a sister and she's got a couple kids, and this will give me an opportunity to show how great Erin is with kids, how much he loves them.
That whole long paragraph about him sneaking up on his sister, I just can't believe somebody spent the whole paragraph doing a little jokey thing, and what he wanted us to feel from that.
Yeah,
he's playful. He's playful with his sister. It made me mad too. When I heard that paragraph, I was like, that is so stupid. It was the dumbest thing ever. And you're right, Shin. He wants people to look at Aaron a certain way. Like, look how close he is with his family. He's so cute and playful with his mom and sister. And it's like from a Lifetime movie, some really cheesy movie.
I haven't had a kiss yet.
Right. And if he's supposed to be going crazy, this would be, again, not to rewrite the thing for him, this would be a good opportunity for him to, like, as he was sneaking up on his sister, he suddenly had the illusion that she was an athletic suicide bomber and grabbed a knife,
Or like he was reminded. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, he could have used that opportunity to have a memory from his time in the war or something. But no.
And apparently it wasn't cool for everybody to jump out at him at the party, but it's okay for him to scare his sister.
Right.
Yeah. He's a malingerer. Okay.
Not
he only scared her with a throat clearing. It's not like he said boo or anything. He was
right. No, that's true. He didn't.
And she jumped a fucking mile.
She's like, what?
How long have you been?
Well, knowing Lauren, that throat clearing is probably a lung hacking cough. He couldn't help. He gave himself away right away.
Right. Not long. How's my new nephew doing? He asked as he put his finger to the baby's chin. He's being a little brat today. He doesn't want to be put down, she answered.
Of course he doesn't want to
Aaron,
be put down. He's only been,
Aaron
he's only
reached
just
Right.
been
He's
born.
a brat.
He's 6 months old. Let's see. Aaron reached his hands out to take his little nephew, Hayden, away from Kelly. Let me hold him for a bit. Give your arms a break. Gladly, she replied with a sigh of relief that someone had rescued her arms from the feeling of wanting to fall off, from the strain of continuously holding the baby, while her husband is outside throwing a ball. Why?
Yeah,
Passing a
Can I just
ball.
add? Have you ever tried to take a 6-month-old baby from their mother's arms when they don't know you? A strange man walking into
Right.
the home and holding his arms out because most babies wouldn't go for that. They would.
Right.
No.
That's not going to work.
No.
But Aaron has got to illustrate how much kids love him. He's so great with kids. So the baby just went right to him. He blinked
It's
his
6
nose.
months old.
Yeah,
It's 6 months old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why would she be holding it, a 6-month-old like that? Aren't they like
Because he was being a
crawling
little brat
around?
He was
today.
being a little brat, yeah.
Being a little brat,
So you gotta
didn't
hold
want to
it?
be put down.
Yeah, and she's got to do all this stuff in the kitchen while her
While
husband's
stirring
just hanging
shit.
out outside.
Of course, that's what moms do. It's her job to
That's right.
take care of the baby, do the cooking, cook for her husband and sons and brother.
This is where
I've just read ahead. That's fucking funny.
Aaron loves kids episode right here. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Aaron pulled the baby close to him as the baby stared in surprise at the new person that was now holding him. Aaron flipped the baby's nose with his finger and said, boink. Hayden gave Aaron a comical little giggle when he pulled his finger back.
Fuck, I don't understand. What do you do?
He
Kinda grab
boinked his nose.
He
He
boinked
boinked
his
it with
nose.
his
He
finger.
flipped it.
Well, yeah,
What?
flipping is
He flipped it. It sounds like he just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
yeah,
I do know
he
what
like
you're
flipped it
saying.
up
That
instead of
Yeah.
Don't do
instead
that
of just
to the
booping
baby.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't make him giggle too hard, Aaron. He's liable to pee on you at any time.
Did you not put nappies on
Right.
this fucking... Did you not put diapers
Yeah.
on this child?
Hold on. Let Tiffany finish and
Oh, hang on.
we will
Yeah.
see.
Oh, yeah. I just realized he doesn't have a diaper on under his outfit, Aaron replied.
Why?
Yeah, I need to have Josh go to the store for me. I just realized about 15 minutes ago that I was out of them, Kelly said as she gave a knowing look toward her husband so she wouldn't have to ask him again later. It sounds like a pretty important thing to go and do right away.
Yeah.
No,
Isn't it? Like,
anybody
what the
who
fuck is
has
going on in this
children-
house?
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing. You don't forget that you don't have any diapers. It
Right.
doesn't
Right.
happen because when you put the last diaper on the baby, you say, "Oh, I have no diapers. I need them
Yeah.
now before I
Right.
need to change this diaper." It doesn't happen, and nobody puts clothing on a baby without a 6-month-old baby without a diaper underneath.
Oh shit.
Why would you
Right.
even bother?
And it's not just going to pee because you make him giggle. It's just going to pee
Yeah.
randomly because that's what it
Exactly. You can't prevent the peeing
Right.
by being serious with the baby.
Oh,
He's going
God,
to
it
pee
just gets
regardless.
stupider with every sentence, this book.
It does. It's frustratingly stupid.
does. You should have asked me to pick some up on my way here, Aaron scolded.
Scolded?
I would have if I would have known at that time. But like I said, I just realized about 15 minutes ago, Kelly
15
replied.
minutes again. There's that magic number.
Again, what's the point of the...
What is useless?
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, what's the point?
What is this?
She just realized 15 minutes ago, so her baby has been on her hip with no diaper on for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
She's just cooking dinner.
She had a
while her
cigarette out of
husband's
her mouth
playing.
too. I could vision.
I'm sure she did, right? She had a coffee brandy and a cigarette in her hand. And her husband is outside playing baseball with the little boy.
Playing pass.
Right.
Mhm.
Rather than, I mean, she would have been like, Josh, you better go get some diapers. This baby's going to pee everywhere. There was
I know. That's weird.
See.
It is weird.
Oh, I see. Do you want to stay for dinner? Kelly asked as she began preparing the evening meal. Aaron gave me a couple moments consideration. Oh, he put quotes on that. Aaron gave it a couple moments consideration, then asked, how long before it's ready? About an hour. Why? Do you have a date? Kelly
that's
asked with a smirk on her face.
Wait up.
So I see you
Broke
talk
that
to
subject.
Mom, huh? He cajoled. Yep, she
Cajole.
told me about your
Cajole.
new girlfriend.
This
She's
poor
not my
girl.
girlfriend. Yeah, I know. Aaron
Jesus,
replied with a
tease the
smile.
motherfucker.
She will be, though. She said yes to a second date with you, so she will be. Kelly
loves
said,
you.
believing her point was justified. So, is that a yes for staying for dinner? Kelly reached for an answer. Yeah, I guess so, he asked. What are we having? Ham,
Fuck you.
baked
Fuck
potatoes, and corn on the
I'm gonna
cob.
beg you to
Didn't
stay for
he
dinner.
have that last night? Didn't he have that
Well, he had
last
The
night?
same
though?
food that was left from.
He loves ham. Lauren loves ham.
He loves ham. Yeah, he really
So
does.
stupid.
I almost got into a fight with Roy about it.
Oh, I
You
remember.
remember the Christmas ham?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I'd have heard that.
Oh God, that's
So
really
good. Yeah.
So, Kelly and Mom, all they care about is Aaron and his sex life. That's all they want to talk about. That's
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
Mom told me about your girlfriend. Oh, she's not my girlfriend yet. Oh, she will be. She definitely
Yeah.
will be.
She will be. When am I going to meet her?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
weird.
And this, I don't know. This mix up your cuisine a little bit, but the next line is really ridiculous.
Sounds good. Doesn't this little guy have a problem chewing on the ham, though? Yeah.
That's what you talk
jokingly.
about? That's what you actually talk about. Those are your
It's a
conversations.
6-month-old baby. Anybody looking
He's worried
at a
about the
6-month-old
fucking baby nicking
knows.
ham from him.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have to fight
share.
him.
So,
Anybody looking at a little baby like that
it's
knows you don't
escalated
give
from a
them ham.
13-year-old boy called Derek being his enemy to a 6-month-old who's nicking his ham.
Who's gonna pee on him?
Fucking mortal enemy's a 6-year-old baby now.
Hold on though. Why doesn't Mom ever mention Kelly and her 2 children? She talks so much about Aaron's girlfriend and him sleeping it, whatever is going on in Aaron's life, but she never says like, oh, by the way, your sister and the new baby, or things that you would think would be important to a mother and a grandmother, a mother who has children other than Aaron.
To tell you the truth,
never
up to this
mentions
point, I thought Aaron was an only child up to this point.
Yeah.
I think Lauren thought that Aaron was an only child up to this point too, and he just decided,
he throws in Kelly.
Yeah,
Lauren
really
wanted to support too.
I didn't want to say anything early because I actually thought I'd missed something, but that was the first time that he had a sibling got mentioned, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just, I don't know what to say.
But what's the whole point of this?
I don't know.
The scene that it doesn't turn into a murder scene or anything, but it establishes more characters.
I mean, that's a good question.
What the hell is the point of this? What are we learning from it? I mean, that he likes kids.
In the comments has just said, I like it how Aaron just met this girl and everybody in the family assumes there's a relationship. There's a bit of a... It's like, you're going on a second date. That means she's going to be a girlfriend. Well, in my experience, it takes more than that. It's a big deal.
His mom is kind of the same way. She's like, you must really like this girl, and wants to know all. They spend 4 hours talking
I think
about
they're
her.
just amazed somebody wants to go on a second date with him.
Exactly, Andrew. I think that
just a casual
they're not used to him. Yeah, they're not used to him going out on dates. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, she was like that even when Derek called and said that they would be going on this date. He said, "You're just thinking of grandkids, huh?"
Right.
It's like, what? Why would that even be a part of the conversation?
Yeah, grandkids. What? And she said, "Son, don't have children with someone unless you're sure you want to be with them." No shit, Mom.
She's having the talk with him.
Yeah, the grandkid thing is even stranger because it's a blind date. He hasn't even met her yet, let alone have any expectations at all.
Yeah.
And suddenly they go right to grandkids.
Frightened. Yeah. I would be scared by that.
You're afraid for Brooke. I understand. Ha ha, Kelly smiled. He gets that mushy stuff in that little jar that says Gerber on it.
How clever.
Want me to feed him for you right now, or does he eat at the same time we do? Aaron inquired. Well, if you want to feed him right now, you can, and then maybe you can rock him to sleep, and we can talk over dinner without the interruption of the baby, Kelly answered as she plopped the corn on the cob into a big kettle full of water. Okay, Aaron agreed. Where's his bib? Blake, would you get Uncle Aaron a bib from the baby drawer, please? Kelly asked her son.
Can I just
Uncle
hold
Aaron.
on? Sorry, I know
Yeah?
I keep cutting in, but I think it's really convenient and really great that this 19-year-old boy is an expert on feeding and caring for babies when he
Right.
does not have any babies
We
and
don't
has
even
never
know
even
who
been on a
Kelly
date.
is, do we?
I just
No.
can't understand why we need to know all this. What are we going to do with it?
It makes them look good. It's impressive to,
It's the only explanation.
yeah, it's impressive. He knows how to take care of this baby magically somehow. And he's very willing and eager to feed the baby and change the baby and rock the baby to sleep. And that's why
He's
Blake
going to be really good at
worships
it.
him like a hero. Yeah. That's why.
Ugh.
Uncle Aaron, I thought you said you played pass with us before you left. Blake asked on his way to the baby drawer. Shut up, Blake, you stupid moron. Haven't even had dinner yet.
Exactly. I'm not going to play a fucking game. You call it that.
Shut up.
I'm feeding a fucking baby, Blake. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You throw like a girl anyway, Aaron.
If we don't get to play pass this time, then the next time I'll come over, we'll play, okay? Aaron responded to his nephew. Promise, Blake asked with an innocent look that only a child can hold. I promise.
What
Aaron
an
returned.
asshole. He just told him they could play pass 4 minutes ago. And now he's like, well, maybe next time. I'm feeding a baby.
Yeah.
Dick.
With this set up here, Aaron, you'll have all the practice you need for when you have kids. Brooke would be impressed if she could see you now.
Jesus.
Kelly said with a
my
smile.
God.
Cute, Aaron said as he smiled back at his sister. He went about feeding the baby until the little jar was completely empty. Even though a lot of food landed on Aaron in the bib, he was still amazed at how much the little tyke could fit in his stomach. After Aaron finished feeding Hayden, he just spit it all over the place. After Aaron finished feeding Hayden, Kelly cleaned him up and let Aaron rock him to sleep. Once the baby was asleep, Aaron was able to slip out unexpectedly to Blake and play pass. Blake was thrilled about all three of them playing pass together. Once dinner was ready, Kelly beckoned to them to come wash up for dinner. They talked with Aaron during dinner, mostly about Brooke and about his plans for staying in the military or getting out. Aaron had been undecided before, but the Army was pressing him to get out because they didn't think it would be good for him to stay in after what happened to him in Iraq. Now, after meeting Brooke, Aaron could feel his thoughts leaning toward getting out. He stayed a couple more hours after dinner and visited, then decided he'd better go home. He wanted to go and visit his little brother the next day, and he wanted to wake up early to do it and surprise him.
So has the baby been without a diaper throughout this whole time?
Yeah.
True.
Because I would be concerned about that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I guess he forgot.
And he fed the baby more, too.
He did,
and then he put the baby to
sleep. It's going to explode.
The baby, yeah, well, he's sleeping without a diaper. And his mother's like, yeah, that's all right. Just let him make a mess. I'll clean it up later, I guess. I'm busy visiting with my brother here. He comes first.
Exactly.
And we have another sibling.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot he had another sibling, but I do think it's strange that they spent dinner talking about Brooke instead of talking about, like, I don't know, her children and the milestones they had hit since Aaron had been away, what's been new with their family. Literally anything other than the girl that Aaron just met and nobody should give a shit about yet.
And now he's talking about how he's gonna get out of the military now because of Brooke. It's not because he went through this thing over in Iraq and it really doesn't think that this is a good thing for him. He could just stay home and start working or whatever. Nothing about that. It's well, now that I have Brooke, I guess I'll leave.
I think they're going to discharge him no matter what anyway, whether it's his decision or not.
Of course. And the thing is the Army's not going to say, you know, Aaron, this probably isn't good for you.
Right.
You know,
Which is so
This
valuable
is,
to us. You know, we
well,
want you to make
they
that decision.
are. Right. Aaron is a special case. He was allowed to sleep in during, after rough evenings in the army. They treat him a little different than they treat everyone else, I guess. So
right?
he's a special case.
That was a brutal paragraph, Tiffany.
I
God
know.
bless you.
Well, it was
It's just such a
paragraph
Lorne.
for the end of the chapter.
Oh, is
Are
it
we
the
coming
end?
to the end? Oh, thank
No,
God.
that's
The
it.
end.
That's it.
Yeah.
End of chapter 6.
End of
I
chapter
mean,
6.
what did we actually get out of that chapter? What did we established that he has a sister,
Mhm.
and
He went on the date.
yeah, oh yeah,
And he
Yeah.
is going to be a really good dad.
yeah.
He has 6
Yeah.
meals a night.
But we didn't.
Yeah, he just eats.
We've established
ham
those points,
constantly.
but haven't got anything out of it into his character, how he's feeling about like himself after, is he all that nonsense about being within himself and all that. As you've quite rightly pointed out, we don't get any kind of we've not got any details on his transition into a woman, which I'm finding very disappointing.
Yeah.
It's
There's nothing. That paragraph was nothing. And especially, considering what it's leading up to, there's no sign of it anywhere.
Right.
yeah, there is in Lorne's world, the second date.
He wakes up one morning and decides he's going to be a serial killer.
Yeah, there's
That's
no
what this is leading up to.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But that was I don't know what the hell he was thinking about when he was writing that. Was he going to build from those scenes? And I don't know. They were just totally useless.
I think he was just very childishly sitting in his prison cell or whatever, thinking, okay, I've got to further this book along. What kind of scene can I write? What would Aaron be doing? Well, he ate with his mother for several hours. What else? He's going to clean his car. What else can he do? Oh,
Yeah.
he'll go visit his sister. And then he'll talk about his sister's. Like, he wasn't thinking of furthering the storyline or creating any kind of like setup for future stuff that happens in the book. It was just, what does Aaron do on this day? He goes to see his sister,
It
and
was
then
just
he
total
goes from
character
there.
development. That's all it was,
Well,
just character development.
Right,
Only
but the
character.
only development we got was that he is magically really good at taking care of children, even though he's not, because he didn't even, he didn't feed him properly. He didn't think maybe you should put a diaper on this kid. Like, why? Aaron, go to the store and get diaper. Well, you should have told me before I got here. Go now. This baby is peeing everywhere. Go get some Pampers.
Yeah, would you just hold him? Be like, oh, he has no diaper. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Especially to sleep.
I would ask my sister, what are you doing? Go get the
Yeah.
kids some diapers. First of all, how do you even run out of diapers without knowing about it? That doesn't happen. I call
That's the
bullshit.
least of this book's problem.
She's a tenderhead.
Well, I have a big problem with it because it just wouldn't happen.
No, but
And
this
it
whole
was
book
stupid
would
You're
to
right.
include in there. And there was like a whole paragraph of her explaining how she just realized they ran out of diapers about 15 minutes ago and her husband better go get them, and Aaron could have got them, but she didn't know. She just realized 15 minutes ago. It was like a whole thing.
I remember going out with my baby and whatnot. We would be obsessed about having enough diapers with us when we went out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Of
I
course.
can't imagine running out at home. I just couldn't
It
imagine.
doesn't
doing that.
happen. Yeah. They're kind of necessary for little babies.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It is a very strange endeavour, this, isn't it? Oh shit, wrong button. Why does that keep happening?
Well,
yeah, it's an head scratcher. It's good fun because it's so bad. You know what I mean? It's like nothing makes sense at all.
yeah, but if we knew ahead of time, that's a scene I'm just not interested in hearing or watching.
Well, there's no excitement.
weird.
Nothing happens. There's
Nothing.
There's nothing, is there? There's no.
It's like, yeah, the author's a time thief.
Yeah, there's no
I think it
story.
shows how self-centered Lorne is.
Mm-hmm.
Where every other character in the book, all they think about is Aaron. and his love life.
All right, Eddie.
Because that's all Lorne thinks about is himself and his own love life, you know?
Lack of.
Right, but that's his number one concern in all things. Just like Aaron's, he's getting out of the army because now he has Brooke, a girl that he met one time. So he's going to base his whole future around this girl, this slightly overweight girl that he met.
You know how long it took me to realize we run out of diapers? About 15 minutes.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Oh, that's stupid.
You know when
It's
you're on your
stupid
last pack.
The conversations are ridiculous. They would never happen. Especially, okay, I'm not a guy, obviously, but two guys riding home from a date. Are you going to be having that corny of a conversation? Like, I'm really hoping she holds my hand.
Yeah, if you were two
Really?
serial killers.
Well, it's just a ridiculous conversation. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah,
No, but what
like
did he
there's no
say?
locker room talk, nothing like that. You know, little
Nothing.
Thank you
color
for
stuff.
thinking of me first. Thank you for thinking. I can't even remember how he worded it, but it was in a very stupid way, as usual.
Yeah.
Thank you for thinking of me for asking her out before you thought of anyone else.
Yes, that is, I think very key right there. That's the other guy's
is.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What?
And then when he was talking to Kayla, that was something that was really important to make sure she was no longer in the chat room. And am I the only one you're talking to? And was I the first one?
Yeah. Aren't you glad you talked to me
Yeah.
now instead of anybody else?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody wrote in the chat a long time ago when we were going over the part about him rewriting a note back to his mother that night he came home from the date. And it was worth repeating. I'm sorry, I can't remember who said this, but the note would say that he would write back to his mom, "Dear Mom, it was a sting, but I didn't mean to do it."
Right, exactly.
Hilarious.
Please bail me out. Well, we're halfway through the book. So we've done 6 chapters of 12. It is fucking 12 chapters unless one of you guys has misled me yet again about the content
No,
of this.
there's
Yeah,
12.
I don't know.
There's 12.
Definitely
I think
12
you gotta go by
chapters.
page numbers. He would have a chapter that's only 3 pages.
Right.
You know?
Well, it doesn't matter. We're going to go through it. I'm saying that, though. We did 1 week. We did 2 chapters, didn't we, when one was a really short.
Yeah.
So we kind of hit a milestone today, which is good because the second part of season 2 is going to be the love scene. I can't wait for that. And I don't want any spoilers from anybody because I've not read
Do we
it.
know that for sure, though? Do we know that?
I know it for
Fucking
sure
better
because
be.
Okay.
well, what happened was I picked this up just to see where it was going to be in the chapter, and then I realized, it's not in the chapter.
Well, we've earned that up to this point. Then getting by 5, 6 is, I think, worse than 5. You know, that date was boring. You expect anything better.
Yeah,
than
that
that.
date was
It all
boring.
sucks. But it's interesting to see how Lorne thinks about relationships and not just relationships with a romantic relationship, but relationships with his mother, his sister, his friends. Everybody is just concerned about Aaron's love life.
Yeah.
Everybody.
He's just so boring getting there to learn all that stuff. But anyway, so we definitely, I don't think I'm going to be able to join us next week, but so I guess.
Yeah, we'll have a break. And then, so we'll have a break. It's bank holiday weekend here anyway, so it's probably a good time. So we're going to be having a bit of a break next week, guys, and then we'll get straight onto chapter 7, which I would imagine Adam removes his boxes into. Would you like to get? I just love it. Just how many jokey sort of parallels could we make to Lorne's situation into that sex scene? It's just going to be so.
I like this one. He put his finger on Brooke's nipple and went boink.
Right. Tiffany, I think the word we were looking for was flick.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do that either. A flick would have hurt.
That would hurt.
Well, that's what it sounded
I'd be
like.
really angry if somebody
Well,
did that
the
to
way-
my baby.
Yeah.
The way that I thought, you know how if you were to say to somebody like, "Oh, look at you dropped something," and then you like flip their nose
Yeah.
like when they go to look
Yeah.
down. That's what I thought it was. But even so, you wouldn't do that to a
That's rough on a
baby.
baby. That's rough on a
Yeah,
6 month
of
old.
course it
You
is.
play peekaboo with the baby.
Right.
Or
Don't
I
blank
got your
them. Don't
nose.
flick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you don't do anything like that with a baby who doesn't know you because they'd be screaming for their mother.
Right. Yeah. The kid isn't gonna just go to a stranger like
And this
that.
man was a
Only Aaron,
professional
because
babysitter.
Brooke would be
Right.
really impressed to see him
Yeah.
taking care of
He's
that
so
baby.
good with him.
And that's what she's thinking of, is having children with him after she just met him.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for telling me about the lack of sex scene 5 minutes before we started. At least we didn't figure that out midstream,
milking that,
which is
man.
good. Oh, I'm never going to stop milking it, dude. Don't worry. But it's been a pleasure to have you all with me, because it's actually good fun. We have a bit of a laugh going through it, don't we? So it's all.
But we got to finish it. We can't go to the chat.
Ironically, the best thing that's happened to that book is us going through it. You know, it's not the content, it's nothing, not any money to charity, not anything at all. It's just us having a laugh at it. So at least some good has come of it. And thank you for your hilarious comments in the chat, guys. It's much appreciated. There'd be no point doing it if you didn't suffer with us through this fucking shit show. So it's much appreciated. So thanks. So we'll have a bit of a break next week, and then we'll be back with chapter 7 on season 2 of Taken Abroad. Only on Andrew Burkitt's channel. There's nobody else saying that on YouTube, is there? So yeah, thanks in the chat. Thank you to my good friends with me, and leave any comments and things that you missed. Some of your more hilarious comments, leave them in the comments section, and I'll get back to you soon. Take it easy, guys. Bye.